Well, right, I had quite a long day at work today, so it's kind of late at night. You know what happens with these, they're usually a bit sloppy episodes, but um, yeah, I wanted to spend a little bit of time getting things moving on, getting another rallied impulse, hopefully an German impulse, because my impulse is going to be kind of quick, I think, I've decided. Right, still just a couple wee things. Um, I've decided I've decided to go with what Martin and John Brown kind of feel about the IPs and the West Wall hexes, and um, don't think they should be there. Didn't think it was right myself either. Um, I hope that maybe if Martin gets around, if he feels it's an important question to ask John, maybe if a few more questions gather up, he can maybe go and ask him for sure. I'd say the one thing that might come into that is if we attacked that unit and got an IP crossfire combat ship, you know, and if it had an IP on it, that would do something, but I kind of think they shouldn't be there as well. But anyway, so going to go with that for now. If we find out differently in the future, then so be it. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to go back on is Martin's beat me down again, and I've decided that he's more than likely right regarding the army cards and the situation with, does it just activate the army on the card like the 5th Panzer Army units, or as it's got in the rule book it talks about all units, and that's what I did, and it ended up activating 3 6th Panzer Army units, and he didn't think that should be the case. Now I never went and looked it up, because I guess I just read in the rule book and it said all units, and I just took that. But I thought I'd maybe go and have a look on the forums, like just do a wee search. And I mentioned, I thought it was Marcel that had posted the question regarding the wording on the cards, units in the same division, and that should be units in the same corps. And it was this was a question I asked, but it was a double-barreled question, because it also asked just what we're talking about here. Anyway, I'm not going to read the whole question out. Right, I've described the army card, and my question has been, on the actual army card, the wording is same division. I can't see anything in errata, anyone know which is correct, because in the rule book it says same corps, and on the card it says same division, basically. That must be what it is. So you know how it says there units in the same division on the card, but the instructions in the rule book say on the same corps, reserve units in the same corps. Yeah, that's right. So that was the first part of my question, and the second part of my question was, once a unit is located, activate it in all units. And this is what we're talking about. So I've actually asked this question before. I completely forgot about this part of it. And then I've said, does all units mean all units? You know, as in, and then, or just units from within the respective army, I've asked. And I said the wording on the card is, and all those units, suggesting that it may be units from the army. And that's right. And the wording on the card is different from the rule book. The wording on the card says, and all those units, and the wording in the rule book says all units. So there's a big difference between the two statements, you know. All those units tends to imply that it's the units that we're talking about, which would be 5th Panzer Army units, but all units just tends to sort of suggest all German units, you know. So that was my question, and it was Martin that answered first, This was back in October of 2019, by the way. He says, I think we can safely assume that the army card should read the same as the rule, that is, same core, since that's more in line with the other cards. Fair enough. And then he says, for the second part of your question, I'm equally confident that we're talking about all units in the selected army only, which is what he's came back and just said recently. And I've said, I agree, this is how I wanted to play it. I do think these 2 points should be part of a errata and clarification, however, so hopefully John may catch this and add it to any further errata or tell us otherwise. So that's what I've said. Then John Butterfield actually posts a reply himself saying the card should read active reserve units in the same core as any of. So he is saying it's, and he said, good catch Grant, I'm surprised this went unnoticed for 4 years. So, and this is this is probably the main reason that I'm going to change my thinking of this, because my question is in there, Martin's answered it, the 2 parts of it. John's only commented on the one part of it, the wording on the card saying core, saying division rather than core. So I'd like to think that John would have read through that whole question, and if Martin had answered it wrongly, or I'd like to think he would have made his own comment if it was wrong. If it had meant to be all units, then surely John would have stepped in there and say, no, it's not just units from the army, it is all units, and sort of surely he would have done that. So that's why I'm going to go with that. And yeah, Mark, you're right. I'm not saying it's not because you sort of brought this up, but it still feels a bit odd. But obviously the wording within, but it's strange, that one, because the words on the card are wrong regarding division and core, and in the rule book it says core, and the card it says division. But in the rule book regarding all unit, it says all units, and on the card it says all those units. So there's one mistake on the card and there's one mistake in the rule book. Well, we think it is, but I mean, surely John would have overrode Martin's reply there and butted in and said no, it is actually all units, not just the units from that army. So I'm going to change it now, because I would need to make a decision one way or the other as we're going on to the next German impulse. So what we got was, I've got the video up there, just pause to show where the units were. So this guy here was still in here. I think it was, this guy was in beside, well, not in beside, but he was there. Now I wonder if any of these movements would have, well actually hold on, there is one movement that might have changed, because this was the other unit and that was in there. So would he now have moved? I think he would have, wouldn't he? So that could be, right, just let me think this through. Yeah, so there is a slight knock-on effect, I think. This unit wasn't active anymore, so it wouldn't have moved into that hex. This infantry unit would then have moved next, and he would have moved into this hex. Now, then we would be wanting to move this, and because this isn't an empty hex anymore, he doesn't need to tactically adjust because that's an empty hex. So he can move closer to his army objective, getting in this hex or this hex, preferring this hex because it's slightly more west. And that's what he's going to do now. So he would do 1, 2 breaking zone of control, and then 3 into here. So I think he would have ended up in there. And then obviously the first SS unit on the bottom wouldn't have moved. This wouldn't have moved because these wouldn't have been active. But I think everything else is okay. That unit would have, that unit still would have came along here from this hex, So this would be temporarily overstacked at some point, but then that unit would have moved out, so that was fine. And I'm still sticking by this whole tactical adjustment. Nobody else has come back and said anything, and I'm starting to think that is. I like the idea of it, that rule. I just wish it was worded better within the actual errata to state that the unit doesn't have to have actually moved. Its movement is considered complete, but it can still tactically adjust if it's got the movement to do so. You know, I just think it could have been worded better that way. So yeah, so I think that's all that. Now, I didn't check again about any kind of combats, but I don't think, I'm pretty sure it's even worse now than what it was. Well, it will be, because we're not including these 6 Panzer Army units at all. So, nah, you know what, there's no attacks going ahead here. There's not even, that is 8, but it's coming across the river. So that's 4. We've we didn't have support cards or anything. So that's 4 against 6. So no, that's not happening. Okay, right, can we put this to bed now, Grant? I think so. Yeah, okay. And again, well, maybe Martin doesn't feel like that is a question that requires asking John, because like I've just seen there just now, if I've asked that question before and John's replied to the actual question in some way, then surely he would have, I mean, I kind of wish he had said the words that it was meant to be just units from the army, but surely, again, like I say, he would have corrected Martin's answer if he felt like it was off, you know. So okay, right, I'm going to move on. So I've got 3 cards left. I've got the army group card, but I think I kind of want to activate the 8 core units, so I'm not able to do that because they activated last turn. So I've got the 7 core unit with special pattern on the move, and I've got a 5 core unit which I said I might just be using for artillery. I don't really see a lot to do with the 5 core yet, and it'd be better. I mean, there is a chance I might be making an attack and be able to use that as an artillery. So I'm going to have to do this now, I think. I'm going to have to do the special pattern on the move now, and then next impulse, because they're running shorter of cards now, admittedly, and next impulse hopefully use the 21st Army Group card. Okay, so special pattern on the move is, so accelerate the arrival of 3 core, move the 3 core units from the December 22nd space of the calendar to the December 21st space, and then add the 3 cards for 3 core to the Allied command deck on December the 21st. Well, I'll see if I can just move the cards in just now. So just to show you the units, that's them there. There's quite a healthy stack of them all. So it is a good. So they're going to move from the 22nd into the 21st box. There. So we'll get access to them tomorrow, which isn't too far away now. We're getting there. Okay, and then right, there's 3 cards. Hang on. So there's 3 cards, 1 primary for the core. So I know there's a bit of glare there, it's not the best. And then there's 1 supplemental, and then there's a division card as well. So these are all going to come in on the 21st. So it's not actually today, but yeah, I better just leave them, because this one would be going in the draw pile, wouldn't it? And I might get myself confused. I'm frightened that I forget about them and leave them there, because they do say 22nd on them, so I moved into the 21st. So if you see me forgetting, shout down the camera and shout down at the screen and tell me to shuffle them in. Okay, so basically that's all we're doing. We're just activating that special event, and that's our impulse over. So, well, and then we also will be removing this, so that we can now activate them next impulse. Right, so I think I've got time to do a German impulse, depending on how crazy it gets, before I head off to bed. So we'll see what they get. Okay, let's see. I just counted the cards there before we draw. There's 9, still got 9 cards, so right, second SS, 58th. Ooh, okay. So no primaries, but this is a higher command value. So that's going to be the command card, that's going to be the support card. There is no event on this, so we're going to go straight to this now. Assign 1 replacement point, but I don't think they've done anything yet, have they? I better just double check. Yeah, no, in actual fact they do. They've got 1 reduced unit. I think they had an attack on that guy, didn't they? Yeah. That must have been with their primary activation. Anyway, right, so the first command is assign 1 replacement point to the core. So, and as long as this guy can trace reserve supply, which he can, yeah, there's no issues there. I know you can't see what's going on to these, but so yeah, he's gonna repair back up. So that's gonna be that. I don't know if that's horrible or not. I mean, well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, they would have maybe had tried another attack, but it's a pretty tough attack for them, that, really, isn't it? So maybe that is the more sensible thing for them to do, and get some more units round about that guy. Okay, so that's the command card done. So we're going to get the support card across. So that's going to be the 58th, and you know what, we might be repairing a point on them as well. Yeah, I'll assign 1 replacement point as well. So, well, that's definitely going to happen. There's 1 unit here that's damaged. Right, let me just check if there's any other ones though. Yeah, it's nice and easy again. So again, this guy, he can trace reserve supply. Yeah, there's no problems. He's the only damaged unit, so he's going to get a replacement point back as well. Oh well, that was a nice quick German turn then. So, while I move on, well, I did think there might be a bit of thinking to this army group card yet still, so, well, let me go and have a wee think about it and see if I'm going to have the time to put it all together. Okay, I'll get this started at least anyway, because there's a few wee things that look pretty good within this. So I'm going to activate any 1 core and stacked units with bonus combat support. So what that means is, well, I choose a core, and my core is going to be the 8th core. So any units stacked with 8 core units become active. And the bonus combat support part is that any attacks I make within this impulse, they can receive a wild card bonus combat tactic, and that's any combat tactic I want, apart from core artillery. But well, so I can pick any one of the combat tactics. Yeah. Okay. So, what one do I want to deal with first? I'm actually thinking I'm going to have 3 attacks here. And unfortunately, the one I'm going to do the one in Bastogne. I'm as well just getting that out of the way because nothing else is going to happen with that. It doesn't matter the order I do these in, really. Well, actually, there's some movement I'm going to have to do first, isn't there? I want to move one of these units up. So, wait a sec. Okay, I'm going to move this guy 1, 2 into here. Yeah. I think that's going to be all the movement. Well, let's just deal. I've got the camera on this one now anyway, so let's just deal with this one first. So, I'm going to attack here. Now, I've got this unit's active, and the 2 units below that, they're both bracketed units. They've both got 2 strength. Now, they become active as well, because they're stacked with one of those units. So that's 7 strength, that's 9 strength. So this is happening. Yeah, I was swindling about trying to use air power as a combat tactic, but then I thought assault coordination brings this guy into it. That gives me like 12 strength, so it gives me 6-1 odds. Gives me an extra chip pool, which remember I've got 2 bracket units that I'm not drawing for chip pools for, so yeah, okay. So I'm going to attack with these, and then I'm going to add assault cord. Now, hang on, you've got that artillery as well. Where are you going to use that, Grant? Alright, give me a sec, let me think this. Yeah, I think I will actually use the artillery in this combat. I was thinking about the other combat I've got in mind. But I think this is probably the more... It'd be nice to get one of the layer units. Take it out, so I think I should throw everything into that and not maybe be concerned so much with the other situation. Yeah, okay, so we've got assault coordination, so that brings that guy into the fight, yes. And then I'm going to play my artillery as well. So that gives me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 against 2 is 6-1. So 6-1 odds. And chip pools, we've got 1, 2, 3 units that we can count on chip pools. The other 2 are brackets. So that's 3 units. 1 for a wee is 4. And then we've got the assault coordination and then the artillery. So that's 6. Yeah, and I was wondering, I could have just left the artillery and I could have just went with 5 chip pools there and I would have ended up with 5 chip pools down at the other battle, but now I'm only going to get 4 there, but I don't see it. It's not as important. I think it's better up there. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to stick with that. Okay, so where are we? So we've declared our attacking units, played combat tactics, so now we're going to draw a German card. Now, he's surrounded, so you can't get a undetected defender, mind you, there's nobody in the reserves. I thought maybe when I was reading that the last time about the undetected defender, again go back to when the Germans, so when the Allies play undetected defenders, they can come from out of contact units, they don't need to be in the reserve units box, but there doesn't seem to be anything about that. um, on the German side. So it needs to match a unit that's in the reserve units. So, okay, let's draw the card anyway. See what they get. Well, that's handy then, isn't it? That's the guy that they brought in reserves there. Panzer Battalion. Right, just let me check something. Yeah, so he's going to get Panzer Battalion. That's going to increase his strength. Well, he's armoured already. Oh, no, he wasn't armoured, was he? Oh, he was mechanised infantry. Damn it. So I'd wanted the German combat strength, and then fills the requirement for armour, if they don't already possess it. That is annoying. We don't have armour either, do we? Okay. So it's now going from 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 to 3, isn't it? Oh dear. So the odds are dropping to 4 to 1. And he has armour. Okay. Right, so maximum of 6 chip pools, minimum of just the 1. So a sec. Give me a sec. Yeah, okay, so I'll go and get the 1 chit and see what we get started with. Well, good start. Usually when I seen it was a terrain chit, I thought, oh no. But it was in a broken hex. It was for a city, for the bad part for us, but broken's a hit. So that's a great start. Where do we go from here though? Do we just draw all 6? Feeling like we probably do. Yeah, I'm just going to get all 6. I don't know where to go in between that, to be honest. I mean, what do I need? I need D3, don't I? So, yeah, I'll just get all 6. Oh, that was kind of scary. Look at we got 3 terrain chits to start with. This was the next chit I drew, and then it's a broken hex with a D-1. I'm like, oh no. Then got flank attack, which it is. It's not in a town. 4 to 1, and then finished with a D2 4 to 1, which was actually I'm saying it was overkill. No, what did I say? I needed D3. Yeah, I suppose it's just a D1 there would have been nicer, because unfortunately we've got a hit to take ourselves. But okay, that's really good. Yeah, so there we are. So it's 1 hit. Oh, I've got that the wrong way about. Sorry. It's one hit to us and 4 to them. Well, the coloured dice anyway. So yeah, he's gone, isn't he? So retreat, step wash. Yeah, and it's needed D3. He didn't have an IP. He can retreat safely. So he's gone. And you know what? He's got an unfulfilled hit. Can we use that? No, we can't. Anyway, that's the first unit we've destroyed. Hurrah! That's taken some time. Okay, so and then we've got a hit to take ourselves. So have a wee look. Yeah, I guess I just take it on this unit. And then advance after combat. Yeah, I mean, at first I was going to move this guy in from the clear hex into the broken hex, but he's bracketed. He goes in there. I mean, there's a chance they activate. They might have a pop at him, but I don't know. I think he's maybe safer back there. I mean, if I activate the units again and I want to try... I mean, these two units here, it's not as if... I was thinking about if he's in there, we can get something round the back here, but... Oh, maybe... Oh, you know what? I think having units all adjacent to each other is good for multiple reasons, eh? Yeah, I think I'll advance him into there. What the heck? Okay. Right, okay, well that's that combat over. I'm not going to advance anything else. I'm leaving all them in Havilonge. And yeah, I want to leave that unit there, I think. It's... well actually he was... does that count for us as well? Advance after combat. The fact it was, or is it just the Germans that can't do that? You know, when it's been a reinforced battle or assault coordination, because that unit was assault coordinated into the battle. So I wonder if the restrictions on us as well for that. I think it's just the Germans actually. No, I don't think it is us. Well, you know what? I'm not wanting to move him anyway, so if it comes up, I can double check. Okay, right. Let me clear things up there. Okay, I'm having a go at this. I know I don't get the combat tactic for it, but because he's in low supply. But remember, these two 10th armoured units are active as well because they were stacked with us. So that's 7, and just a shame it wasn't 12, because it was that unit got reduced underneath there. So 7, 11, so it's 11 to 4. So we're only getting 2 to 1 odds. 3 chip pools. Attacking this guy here. I just feel like I should give it a try. So what did I say? 2 to 1 odds. And only 3 chip pools. Yeah, just 3 units. None of them are elite. And he's got an IP as well. It's maybe daft. I don't know if it, if I go D3, it's kind of unlikely. I know. Well, we've got armor. He's only infantry. Right. Okay. So they get to draw a card. And reinforced battle, and this is going to shuffle in as well. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they can't reinforce here. Hang on, because this is a 7th army unit. So I don't think he can... Well, actually, I don't think he can reach anyway. Right, give me a sec. No, we've got a result there. There's nothing that can reach. And like I say, even if he could, he would have to be part of the 5th Panzer Army. This guy can't go, he can't get right round, and even then he'd be breaking. I don't think he'd be able to be allowed to do it. Okay, so that's cool. So, but what I'm going to do now is, while I remember this gets shuffled down still, and there's cards still in the draw pile, so that will get shuffled in. So I'll just do that just now, just while I remember. So yeah, that was good. So 2 to 1 odds. Let's say 11 against 4. 2 to 1 odds, 3 chip pools. I mean, they all need to be kind of good. We really need D3. So it's asking a lot. Right, and the minimum pool is 2. So I'll get the 2. And we'll see if it's worthwhile pulling the 3rd. Oh, look at that. Large attack or 16-17 attack. But is there not one? There's one, what is it? Is there not one that says or an allied attack? Ah, no, that's a 5th, that's a blue chit, isn't it? But however, that was the one I drew first, and then I've got only attacker armour. So I've got a D1, so we're as well pulling this third one. See what we get. We need another D1 to make it worthwhile, like, but... Boo. Another terrain shit. He's in the woods. Sorry, he's in a broken hex, and yeah, we didn't get lucky with him. I think most of the brokens are... I don't know, there's maybe an equal amount of the ones. Sometimes you get good with them. Well, you seen that last combat. One was a D1, one was a D-1. Well. Well, no harm done to us, at least. Yeah. No hits to anybody. So, okay, let's look at this last one. Okay, I hadn't really looked at this before. Just when I was... Obviously, this is a 8-core unit, so he's active. And then I thought, well, what can he really do? But if I use the wildcard combat tactic as assault coordination, I can involve these two guys and we can have a go at this. And it brings 2 more units into the battle, so that's what we're going to do. So he's going to attack this guy, and we're going to play assault coordination with the army group card, bringing in these two guys. So we're getting 9 against 2, so that's 41. And 1, 2, 3 units and 1 combat tactic, so 4 chip pools, so that's not too bad really. And we've got armour, he's only got infantry. I mean, he's an IP, but I say this is the one I thought maybe put the artillery in here and then we'd have got an extra chip pool, but well. Right, okay, so Germans are going to get to draw a card again though, so let's see what they got. Oh, damn. Oh, it's 47th. It's that's a nice pool, isn't it? Right, hang on, I've made a mess over here. Give me a second. Yeah, that was a nice card to get. I mean, even if it might have not meant they were activating, but they might have replaced 2 points, the 47th. But I mean, another thing is it's infantry infiltration, so it's only attacker combat chat, so there's no benefit in nothing. So that's into the discard pile. That means they've got how many cards left now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards left, but we're going to be out of cards now because we used our artillery as well. So good. Okay, let's finish this impulse with something nice. So it's a minimum of 2, maximum of 4. So we'll get the 2. Well, that's not bad. It was 6-1 on the front, combat engineer on the back, which hadn't been played. But 3-1 odds is a go. So, and that mixed all the chips back in as well. So yeah, I'm going to go and get the other 2, because one's just going to remove his IP, so I might as well get another 2. Typical, if I'd played the artillery down here, it's a getting boy. I've got 1.5 to 1. Unfortunately, it means we're going to have to take a hit, but at least we're going to do something to him. Make him either retreat or take a step loss. So not too bad. So 2 hits to him, 1 to us. The first hit's going to soak up the IP, and then the second hit, he's going to do a hold check in it. Hang on. Yeah, if losing a step because defending unit takes certain no zone of control, it's going to retreat. That is going to be the case, isn't it? Yeah, so he's not going to do a hold check, he's just going to retreat. Okay, so he can't retreat here. Wait till I clear that. I can take the chits away at least. And we've only got 1 more hit to resolve, which we're just doing now. So where's he going to retreat? Well, he can't go here. He could go here or here. So I think, does he not prioritise? into a hex not in an enemy zone of control. Yeah, so it means he doesn't want to go there because it is in an enemy zone of control. He doesn't want to go there, so he's going to retreat to here. And that's it, basically. So we've got to take one hit. Oh, I just found one of the units that were... That Mark, I don't know if I showed you before. That had... I think it must have had a 3 before, and I'm turned it into a 2. It's in the errata. I think there's 2 of them, but however, I know it made a wee bit of a mess of the counter, but I figure rather than try to remember something like that, I would always forget. If that still said a 3 in the back, I would forget that. Yeah, no, the exciting thing about that is I'm going to get to advance this unit. I mean, I know it's out of the town, but I think I want to do that, don't I? I don't care about that town really anyway. Oh, and then this guy's going to be out of supply. He's he's going to be in low supply. Whereas if I push, or is he? No, he's not, is he? I suppose he is alright, but is he not better back there, Grant? Right, we've got to take a hit on one. Well, I'm going to take the hit on one of the infantry units. Right, give me a sec. Yeah, I'll take it on the one that's in the forest, I guess. Okay, so that's my hit. So advance after combat. I think so. I think. Mind you, he's still, even there, he's still surrounded, isn't he? Yeah. You know what though? There's something that feels better about this hex, and this also a road. This is where this road ends, but I'm assuming I'm classed as being on a road in this hex. So, you know, if the chance becomes available to move, then being on a road is kind of good for that armoured unit. So, I don't think I'll... Yeah, I suppose I could advance the infantry in there as well, couldn't I? Nah, you know what, I'm not really that sure. And oh, wait a minute. If I reduce that unit, that unit was surrounded, wasn't it? But you can still trace supply, that's the thing. So should I reduce this unit instead? I think I'm just going to leave that. I don't know. I always feel like there should be a better way of doing some of these things that I do. I always think, is this the optimal way of doing it, you know? But okay, let's just go with that. Right. Okay, well that's everything. Now, is there any units? Well, actually there is, hang on. I think this guy's getting an IP. Yep. He didn't do anything. The other guy's got one that didn't do anything. So you can build an IP. And that was that. So yeah, it was interesting. Well, we got our first German unit. We got our... Oh, I've put them in the wrong box. Limited units, there we go. Yeah, destroyed one of the 47 core layer units, so yeah, chuffed with that one. Okay, so I'll tidy things up, and yeah, I need to cut this video, Grant, before you run out of space. But I'm actually quite keen on drawing the next 2 German cards. and having a look, since I have no more cards anyway. So, but I'll cut this video here, and hopefully you'll see me soon, shortly, guys. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, yeah, I have just hung about here. There's only 5 more cards left in German draw pile, but it's unlikely I'm going to be able to complete this impulse, I think, tonight. But you never know, we might get one like the last one. So let's see what we get anyway. Okay, so no primary cards again. 85th core is going to be the command card. It's command values 2. And there's no event there, is there? That's a 26, and the Führer Brigade one, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, it's starting to kick in with the replacement points, so yeah, so there's starting to be a lot more of that happening. Okay, so, well, I might as well try and get this started. It doesn't look like this might be that complex. So no event, so we're going to assign, if we can, 1 replacement point to the 85th core. Well, that's just typical. Look at this. The only unit that we've got that's taken a point is this guy. So he could repair. And I thought, okay, well, let's just flip him over. And then I remembered, oh wait, they've got to be in reserve supply. And this guy's surrounded, but he's not, is he? If I hadn't took the hit on that guy, because he is in reserve supply, this is a bracketed unit. It's not exerting zone of control here. So he can go here. Yeah, he can go 1, 2, 3 onto the road, and then he's away. It's all because if I'd left, I was saying it didn't matter, they can trace supply, but if that unit had been full strength, he wouldn't have been able to trace reserve supply. Mind you, it would end up meaning we'd have skipped by that bit and then activated the core, so I don't know. So yeah, he's gonna bounce back to 5 again. You can see them doing a lot of the repairing, like replacing the points. Unless we're just going through a wee spell of that just now. Okay, well, maybe we will get through this impulse then. So that's that card done. So now the support card's not been used, comes across. And we're going to activate the 26 VG and the Führer Brigade. Okay, so the infantry units are spread out a bit. There's one here, the other one just beside Bastogne, and then the other one's underneath the Führer Brigade as well. So he's in both in the same hexes. So all of them are going to activate. Bridges, roadblocks, none of that. Okay. Let's see what they're going to do then. Their objective marker's still, not a concern. Yeah, we need to reach it. We've decided that one. Right, okay, let's see if any of them can move and where to. Okay, I'm down to movement method 5, just for the infantry. Move adjacent to ally VP hex. Then we've got another little loop here though. Move active infantry units each to a hex adjacent to an ally VP hex. Because this guy can come back down to Bastogne. I think he left that hex the last impulse, the last time he activated. And he moved with arrows, didn't he? He moved 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, sorry, he moved 1, 2, 3, and then extended his move into there. But now it looks like he can come 1, into that woods hex, 2 into the broken hex, and either go there or there. That's going to be closer to his army objective. Yeah, so he's just moved back to the hex that he left. I suppose until certain circumstances change, they might do that a little bit, move back and forward. Yeah, you can see, I mean, if you try to adjust the AI in a way that it stopped doing things like that, what would you do? How could you do that? You couldn't implement that. You're just going to have to let that run its course. I've seen it 2 or 3 times, but I'm pretty sure there's not a way. And I think this AI is brilliant anyway. I love the way so much in it. It's so well thought. It must have took him ages to work all this out. It's the best thing I've ever seen for a war game AI, I think. Okay, let's get moving on. So, give me a sec, see if I can find something else. Okay, on to 10 to 13. I actually thought this unit was going to be, because he at the time was the only infantry unit adjacent to them, so I thought he would have done his movement considered complete. But this guy moved down before we got to the movement method, so but he's not going to move there anyway. I don't think. He's kind of stuck there. Kind of stuck around Bastogne, I don't know. Yeah. That's fine. I'm quite happy sitting in there in Bastogne. I mean, once they start losing their supply state, it's a bit worse, so I need to be concerned. Once they get to isolated, it's a bit a different story. Okay, so 10 to 13, well, the Führer Brigade will probably be the first one. We've only got... Yeah, no, there's an infantry unit underneath him. See, that one's selector number 9, and then up the top. Okay, hang on. Okay, I think the Führer Brigade's on the move. So, I'm looking at arrows here. Primary arrow is this way, as long as the bridge is good. Just take these out. I need to watch where I'm putting them. I get the feeling this is what happened to that unit that kind of mysteriously vanished. Yeah, so that's a B, and then I looked at this one. This is a 5B, whereas this is a 6B, going back up. So he can actually go... Oops. These bridge markers. 1, 2 braking zone and control, 3 primary arrow into there, 4 primary arrow into there, and then he's just doing what this 2nd Panzer unit done before. You can either go 5 primary arrow into there, coming adjacent, but then, or you could look back here and go secondary arrow in there, but he's still going to be adjacent, so he's going to go primary arrow. So I think he's going to end up there. Following his movement arrows. Yeah. Don't think there's any problems with that, because there's still even units in that hex. Okay. Okay, quick jump back down here. We've been here before with this guy. He can't move via his arrows, he can't get closer to his army objective, and he's already adjacent to an allied unit, so he's not going to do nothing. I think the infantry unit up beside where the Führer Brigade is probably going to follow him. Well, not quite get to where he is, but... Yeah, because I don't see why he can't fire. And remember, we are moving away for this VP hex, but because it's got 6 strength, we don't care. Well, we don't care about the restriction. So that would be 1, 2, following primary arrow, 3. Actually, I'm saying he is going to reach, isn't he? Because he can extend his move. 1, 2, 3. I know, but he can't end up there, can he? So he's going to extend it one more into there, and then he can't extend it into there because it's going to be adjacent to an allied unit. Oh, Grant, you're off camera. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, let me put him back and do that again. So he's in there. We go 1, 2 into here, breaking zone of control, 3 into here, and then we extend the move 1 into there. But because we can't extend it 1 more in there because it's adjacent to an allied unit, or 1 more in there because it's adjacent to an allied unit, he's just going to have to sit in that clear hex. So yeah. But again, because of the first SS units in there's no real issue with them moving away, I don't think. Okay. Right, I think that's it. They all made a move. Well, I suppose there is a possible check. We don't have a support card. We don't have reserve units. This could be checked against this unit though, you would think, because it's 5 against 2. He's adjacent to an allied supplied unit though, so that would be 5 against 3. Oh, I got that on camera, yeah. 5 against 3, so it's only, well, it's maybe 1.5 to 1. Okay, maybe check this then, hang on. Okay, so yeah, I'll do a check on that. It's 1.5 to 1. Tackles include a weight. No, that's not gonna, don't think he's getting any. There's no support cards, so there's no modifiers. 1.5 to 1. 3. Cancel if less than 1.5 to 1, or attacking from 1 hex. Well, it is 1.5 to 1, but he is attacking from 1 hex, so that is going to cancel. So probably makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, and then the other. Oh, it's forgetting there's 2 of them, isn't there? But yeah, hang on. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But Bastogne, what has it got? 11, or did we take a hit? I don't think we did we? Still 11. Yeah, it's still 11. I suppose it does get a -1 for being in low supply. So that turns into 10. We've got 3, and this one's active too, so it'd be 7 against 10. So the odds are less than 1 to 1. So nothing doing there. And then the only unit that didn't do anything was this guy. He's already got an IP. So that looks like that. Okay, well, I did get through that. It wasn't too bad. We've only got 3 cards left in the German draw pile. I'm out of cards, so it will be another German impulse to come. But I better just leave things for there. I need to call it a night now. Much later than I'd planned, but yeah, that was quite good. Hopefully we've got things moving again. Hopefully I'm not going to look back on these and find some major issues, or you guys are going to tell me there's some major issues. And by the way, I don't mind you telling me them. By all means, get them out there, because that's how I want to play the game right. So okay, I'll leave things for now, guys, and I'll get back soon. Well, hopefully the next session I have can finish this day off. But I'll see. With the wee bit of video I done earlier there, this could probably make another part, so it's probably wise to put this together and put it up. But anyway, I'll be back the next chance I get. Okay, cheers.